A warm welcome to each one of you. This is the Naomi Talk with yours truly, Liz Kung'u. And I want to begin by appreciating each one of you that has chosen to watch our content, subscribed, and shared with friends. And we truly hope that we are living up to our name, that we equip, we inspire, and we educate through the stories that we get to share on this platform. And today we are doing episode 7 of the series we are handling of love, keep, and honor. And we've had amazing stories from our previous guests. And I assure you, even today, we have something special to learn from this amazing couple. So without taking much time, allow me to let our guests introduce themselves. But before they do, they have been married for 24 years. So I can assure you, hawa ni wahenga for real. They have a lot of wisdom to share. So sit back and enjoy. Karibuni sana.
Thank you so much.
Kindly introduce yourselves.
How do we start? Maybe ladies first. My name is Beatrice Kung'u. It's good to say I'm born again. I'm a member of Commissioners for Christ Ministry and also Fellowship and Religious Baptist Church. We've been married for 24 years. Less 1 month, because you are doing our celebration is next month, the month of June. We are blessed with 4 children, and we are both employed in one company called Votex Limited.
You work together, in short, and that's what we want to learn from you today.
Yes, we've been working together since 2007. Yes, that is
17 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Sitting in the same office every morning.
Wow.
Yes.
Tutasikia, tutafika hapo. Thank you.
Right? And Kung'u, Alex. Love Jesus, born again. I'm glad because of this invitation. Actually inviting us as the 7th. People must have some meaning. And we thank God for the far He's brought us. And we are, like what she said, those 24 years, short 1 month, because on the 3rd of June, year 2000, that is when we got married at St. Andrew's Old Chapel, joined by Reverend Kanya. And
you have the details.
Yes, I have the details of Darugo PCE. Yes.
Wow, asante sana. I like how you're being humble that you left out your titles, because both of you are engineers in your own rights, academically, and I know even your children are also engineers. So your boma yenu ni ya ma-engineers. So today we are hosting engineers, married, 2 engineers married. Tusikie vile ndoa inakuanga when the 2 engineers are in the same house. And amazingly, they also work in the same office for 17 years. That one lazima leo tupate kujua how that goes about. But we want to begin from this point. Mulikutana wapi?
We met in a Bible study. I was a 2nd year student. He was a finalist in 5th year. That doesn't mean we are separated by that big age gap, but I think it's because of the issues of the university that time. The people come, the others are leaving, So you were in a Bible study. It was, I can't remember the year, but yes, we met in a Bible study. Let him continue.
Thank you. And that's why anyone who cares to listen, I'll tell them, join a Bible study.
Yes.
You learn God's word, and God will bless you.
Yes.
As you walk along with Him, and that is at the University of Nairobi. That's where we met. So, and that is a number of years ago.
So in that Bible study, you found this girl there. Is that the moment where you felt like this one I will pursue?
No. That was the introduction. That was like the meeting. Because you see, that when you meet somebody, that's when you create the rapport. The rapport. And that's when you start life ideally in terms of very general. Not like it started as love on first sight. No, it was a question of growing together. Then I think the time when it became serious is way after I've left campus. Yes.
Now we want to know when it became serious. What were you specifically attracted to this lady? the qualities she had that really made you feel, this is it, I'll pursue this one?
Yeah, one is friendship had grown. You see, all that time now we remained in communication. I remember at some point we had we lost a brother. She came home during my graduation. She visited around. As in, she was there. She was there in my life, and it is the way a friendship just sticks out, and you say, this is it. Yeah, it is. I would say it is a growth of a friendship. Yes.
And maybe also to add, yeah, you know, the beauty with a Bible study that time, the moment you find yourself in a Bible study, you are there for a whole 14 weeks, and you developed friendship. So you become a friend to every one of us, yeah. And we were in the same class with the sister, their last born sister. And anytime he used to visit the sister, he could also visit me. And I think that's how
As a member of our Bible study.
I think that's how the friendship also continued growing. And I remember he graduated, and me, I was in my third year now when he was graduating. And we met together, you know, they came for rehearsal as you are our class, because of that, it was cancelled. And coincidentally, we met. He was with his friend taking photos, and me, I'm leaving class. Because he was a member of Bible study, I joined the group to be taken a photo. And then he extended a hand and told me he wanted to go to pick some money. That time he was working. He was to pick some money from industry area. And so he requested, and I decided to take him. And I think that's how our bond.
You're also enjoying his company?
No, that's kind of, maybe. I didn't know.
No,
I didn't know. But now
you can't take someone who you're not enjoying their company.
Yes,
really.
yes. But now, after I took him, that's when I felt there's a thing. Maybe that time used to refer to it like infatuation. It's like I'm falling for this guy. Yes. And
did you also feel that thing? That's why you're telling her to take you to industry.
There are so many people in the university who can take you to get money.
So that thing was also calling you and speaking.
It was a subtle way of speaking. Yes.
Wow, I think I like that. But at least you are not found idling. You are somewhere doing something, which is also very important to note. You did not come out as desperate, like, "Kwani unioni, you can't find me," and all that. Because sometimes I think ladies sometimes can unconsciously find themselves in the place of
trying to be loud.
Trying to be loud and calling for attention.
No, she didn't try to be loud at all.
She didn't, eh? No. She was
just there herself.
Calm, composed. And those are the things you actually probably liked.
Yeah, and very beautiful.
Of course. we can confirm. We can confirm that particular bit. So now, after having, grown in this friendship and having that feeling, unasema ako feeling, at what point did you feel like, sasa hii, I need to take it to the next level?
Yeah, I was working in my first job where I was working in Tana River, a place where now you are out there largely by yourself, of course with some few friends, but now that's when you start connecting back at home, back where you came from, and said, where am I? What do I want? Yes. And then whenever you think of what you want, then there is this lady. Then there is this lady. Those were days of letters. So we started writing letters.
How long were the letters taking from Tanariva to...
I don't even want to imagine.
I was in Nairobi University. I didn't know how those letters used to come.
Poster, you buy, you write.
I'm not sure if I can remember the address, but we could write.
Yes.
Remember, I could write like 5 pages.
Of a letter.
Of a letter.
No, but It depends on your handwriting, of course. So it can be 5 pages, but if you typed it, it's 1 page.
No, it was not. It was, even if it was typed, maybe because of the now font, maybe it could be 2.5.
Yeah, but five
But I
was
could
quite-
write and write. I don't know what I used to. But that time we were not dating. We were just.
You are general, very
General.
general. There was no. I was reading between the lines to see whether there is something I can pick and use. Yeah.
Yes.
But
So that's the time.
5 is quite good stuff for you to speak to someone who you love and all that.
Yes.
So probably to take a week. Kutoka itoke huko.
Yeah,
before ufike Nairobi.
maybe a week.
Yeah.
Even to know whether she received, you can never know until after
Until she
several,
responds.
until you receive a response much later. So that is what that was it. That
Yeah.
must have been strong.
Relationships then and now.
Yes,
the
they are
worlds
different,
apart.
worlds
Yeah,
apart.
worlds
Very,
apart.
very worlds
Yes,
apart. Because
yes.
even if you're doing a long distance, these days people do video calls.
There's no long distance nowadays because you have video calls. Everything is instant still.
Wow.
By that time, letter, you don't even know hata kama itapotelea kwa posta.
So-
Not as in just trust. Nothing.
So
And
kwa
you
hiyo
are-
barua kuna mahali sasa hata wewe ulifika ukasema sasa wacha nirushe mistari bwana.
No, there were not
Sio
many.
kumwambia
There
tu
were,
kuna joto Lamu.
no, I think we were in the MCCU, Christian Union. Things were serious. You don't write stuff.
Allah.
It can be used against you.
Allah.
So ideally, it was more, like I've said, it was more of building friendship. There was no stuff.
But you see, you have to get there to the place where you are committing to her.
The fact that you are writing her a letter should be the message.
To tell her it is hot in Lamu.
Oh, you tell her how Lamu is nice and whatever.
know.
So it's good enough. The fact that she replies is that's a message.
She tells you, I'm busy studying.
Yeah, there were no
Yeah,
sweet
I'm busy
nothings
and he's
inside.
working.
Yes, you're working.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
So
along
now-
the way, he came back to Nairobi. I think you came to do masters.
Yes.
Yes.
I came back now to the university.
Yes.
Now we can talk.
Now you can, now let's hear.
Now,
Yes.
no, as in now we could talk.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
saying
now we could do coffee, we could do, and that is how then it started.
Then now you started dating her
Now we started having,
and talking about your future together
correct.
and all that stuff.
No, he
And,
proposed. I don't want to look like I was not proposed for.
Oh.
Yes. And I think that's where you're going. Yes. you
yes, there was, of
proposed.
course, with the coffees, now there was a proposal.
How did it go then? Because tunaona huko ni age ya mabarua na nini.
So now as we've come back, now we are near.
Eh,
So now I can ask, can we have coffee on this day? Again, those dates were also very important to keep because if you have agreed, you meet at Hilton on the right-hand corner at 5.
it cannot change.
It cannot change because if you change one factor like this, you stand behind a bus. That is it. So even you have to define everything, and there cannot be margin for
I'll be
error.
in a red dress.
Yes, so I'll be on exactly. You have to indicate. Yeah, and you stand there. If a date fails to come, you cannot just go. You'll have to be there and give an allowance of like 2-3 hours.
Standing. Same
Because there's no
spot.
way of knowing whether something happened or anything.
The patience.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Patience
that
had to be
happened,
tested.
and there was a date, there was coffee, and there was
Me, I want to see
official
this,
asking.
This official asking.
Official
I want to
asking.
see how it went. That one. That
No,
one.
it's not dramatic. Our life fair has no drama. It is just fine. We have been in this space, and I've been thinking that I need to, settle down, and I think you are the person I have been with. Just like Jesus would say, look for somebody who has been with us, who knows the mission, who understands, and bring that person among the numbers. Now that was it. We've been here, and now I think that I want to settle down in marriage, and I think you are the person. Do you accept? I didn't kneel down with a flower, with what all those.
Yeah,
There was only a nice cup of tea on the table.
In short, marriage inaweza kuwa poa even without so much of the
Drama.
trying to follow the trends.
Definitely,
and
yes.
flowing with the trend, because sometimes you may be carried away with the trends and forget marriage is between two people.
Certainly. It's the relationship.
When the
it's,
door's shut, is the two people
Certainly.
that work on it.
Yeah.
So you can observe what is happening, but don't be carried away by what is going around and what is
Yes.
happening. I think, wow, that was so real, so authentic. Yani ni sisi wawili, chai ndio hii, no flower, miondoko mingi, nothing. But ulijua, nimependwa.
Yes, nikajua nimependwa. And you know, for so long I thought if he proposes, that desire will die. So he proposed. I told him, give me 7 days. We pray about it.
That was for official use. Not that's what should happen.
Yeah, but he was patient. He waited for the 7 days. Of course, when I said it, it's like that desire grew now. It's like I should have said yes. Yes, but now, because as he says about communication, we have to wait for 7 days. Because you can't, there's no way of communicating. And they came, and I said yes. Then I think the rest is history.
You know, they say, for women, the woman's brain, especially when it comes to matters, proposal and marriage, by the time that feeling was growing inside the view, kwake bado ilikuwanga not very sure somehow. Because women, when you're saying C, you as a woman, he's at A in terms of relationship. So on your wedding day, you're so much ahead. In your mind, ushapata watoto. In your mind, lakini, yeah, probably at the stage of after this wedding, honeymoon and all that stuff. So probably the feeling, kako kali grow way before.
Yes.
He woke up and realized, this one is the one I have to pursue. So hapo sasa proposal imekuja and ulikuwa umeamua. How long before you walk her down the aisles?
Well, I had not those like big statements of this is what we want. You know, these things are flowing. You know now. It would follow then after you've proposed, and now you are in a relationship that identifies her as their person. That continued for some time, and then of course now there is starting to introduce to the family, to friends, to like this, and then we got into a car with our parents and knocked on their door. Yes.
Yes, and it's good to add, I was still a student. I could not have gotten married when I'm in school.
We had to wait for her to finish. Yeah, so that was it.
Finish college. Yes.
We finished college, got a job, and that's when.
So wakati basi ulifika uliambiwa ngoja amalize.
No, I'm saying after the proposal, then there was a period, of course, for her to finish school. But then that now time we are now in a
So I graduated.
relationship where we know. So she did her graduation. I was in that graduation.
Very much involved.
Ideally now, not as a bypasser, but there's a lot of interest. Yes.
Yes.
Very interested. Yes.
Observing kama kunaweza kuwa na
Observing.
mwingine anaweza.
Just observing and being part of that graduation.
Yes.
Here at the university. Yes.
Sawa. So Beatrice, kuna woga ladies have when you have to meet your in-laws for the first time. How was the experience for you?
I didn't fear meeting them. Maybe I had a lot of confidence with him. Because I can remember the first person introduced me to was his sister-in-law was in Kiambu. And the reception was very positive. And then he later took me to, that time I was still in college, yeah? He later took me to their country where I met their mom and their dad. Because the other siblings already, they had left. Now, you are in the same college class with the sister who is the youngest, yeah? So I just met the mom and the dad. And the reception was very good. I remember I was given the best cups that time, which now later here, this one were bought. They used to stay in the cupboard. They were for visitor, the special visitor. So to me, I was treated very well by the mother and the dad. And I think every mother, every father is looking forward for their sons to get married, yeah? But their great fear was their names, our name, there are a number of names that coincide with their side.
Okay.
So
For
akamwambia, make sure there is a Megwe and you have a Megwe in our side.
Oh.
There's a sister, their sister who is Wanjiru, we also have the same names. And then I have my sister is Gladys, you know her, Kagure, and their mother is Mogure.
Wow.
So I can be, make sure. You see where to. Yeah, but I would say the reception was very
Ufanye
good.
homework vizuri.
Yes.
Usikute unawa your distant cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes we hear, of course, there's some reservation when girls have to meet their in-laws. Unasikia mtu asema, hey, I'm so scared, I'm not so sure how I'll be received. But as you said, you build the confidence.
Yeah, it would also happen where, especially if people are not very real, or they have an idea of what you should do, or they have somebody in their mind for you, or they have some standard class stuff, those kind of very materialistic stuff to look at. So that time they would have reservations because they thought this is what you should do. But if people allow you to be, and then they'll appreciate your life, they will know that you have been, of course, walking with God, you know what you want. Why should it be a situation?
Yeah.
Or a situation where they know something, maybe which you don't know, and which would also be valid, and it's good to say that, look here, this is the reason.
I think that's why it's also important when people are doing the dating, they open up
Yes.
and be very real.
Yes.
Don't even progress with that relationship with some hidden
Yeah.
things behind the closet, because then somehow.
Yeah, it's good to also, anyway, at the
Then
end of the
pop up.
day, if there was a reservation, kidogo, it's good to listen, but if it has no ground, there's a man one time who told his son, you can't marry that one. Then the guy asked why. And then the father had to tell her, that is your sister.
Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah, I hear.
So you see now, with those kind of circumstances, and it's good that people live their lives in a clean,
I think that's why
clear
they were
way.
concerned that you had similar names from your side and his
And
side.
yes.
And,
And maybe I can also add there. In college, you used to read a lot about marriage. Yes, me, I remember. And then one of the things they were saying for you to know your partner is the real, you know, because you don't want to get into a marriage that you are getting married not to the right person. If you want to know this person is the right one of the conditions they were saying, you need to be accepted by the family members. So as I was going, I was confident. If they don't accept me,
it's a
I
sign.
walk out. If they accept me, then I stay. Yes.
Okay. So, looking at now this phase, probably you had gotten a job already at this point. You're on a first job. Wewe umesettle kiasi. So, harusi mulikuwa mnapanga harusi ya kukata na shoka kiasi gani?
Haikuwa ya kukata na shoka. It was within our means.
Those days there were no grandiose, there were no shows, honestly. I think there were no wedding shows on TV, there were no
Yes.
shows. A wedding was a wedding.
Wedding was a wedding.
I think, honestly, there was nothing to shock anyone about a wedding or extra, because it was a standard thing. There is a net for the bride. In fact, you either borrow or
No,
buy.
sorry, it's a gown, not a net.
A gown.
Net. It
Yeah.
was called net. So these are the things that I'm changing. It was called net because I do it was just a net. That's what we knew. So net TV was standard. Food is either you get your. In fact, even that time, a lot of outside catering had not even begun. People were getting their kin. They would come. Make all those arrangements, cook. There was absolutely no expectation for big things.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, there was no, or maybe it is us who never thought they are there, but still, I still remember, we never used to have.
But it was within your means.
It was completely within our means. We did a goat eating. It was meant to correct fads. And the fads we corrected were enough. Yes.
You know, you corrected 70,000.
Then?
That was enough.
Yes.
More
That was
than
good
enough.
money.
Yes.
Yeah. 70 was good money. At least you didn't go and borrow a loan.
We didn't
No.
To finance your wedding.
It was not even imaginable. As in, there was no place where you would imagine that all cars you get from friends, And it was good that we are in Commissioners for Christ Ministry, so we got a lot of support from the cars. We never thought about them. We never thought about a venue because we were in St. Andrews, and the hall there was where we did our reception. We never thought about
So it was just, simply put,
easy.
a
Wedding.
good, manageable within
It was a
your
wedding.
means kind of wedding.
Yes.
Wow. Sasa hiyo siku ya harusi kuna kitu ilifanyika. On the wedding day. What happened?
In terms of course. But maybe, I don't know whether you are alluding to a fact. There was an incident.
Yes, that's the incident.
Yeah, that incident. You know about it.
Yes.
Because we shared. Someone had given us a car for the bride, a very new Mercedes-Benz, one of my lecturers. And then, I think there were some guys in the wedding who were strangers that we didn't know. So as we saw the guy in the Mercedes, the driver thought he's one of us, as we thought he has come with the car. And he actually rode that vehicle from Uhuru Park. He was part of the wedding, all the way to Buruburu where we are getting the bride. And then along the way, by God's intervention, something got into his eye and he got very injured, to a point where even at Buruburu he had to seek some medical attention. He was treated in a small place there. He came back. I don't know how he came back, but he still came back to the reception. His eye still had a big problem until my relatives took him to a hospital. And it is there where then he disappeared. And everybody started asking, who was that guy? Who knows him? So the following weekend, why we knew there was a problem is because my brother went to another wedding around St. Paul.
Yeah, that is opposite.
And he saw the guy. And he asked the managers of the wedding whether they know the guy. And he told them the story. And they decided to confront the guy. So when they confronted him, he actually stood up outside within the service. He beckoned to his friends, and about 10 guys just stood up and walked out. And it was, wait a minute, what is this?
So what was the agenda? Was it to...
The agenda here could have been either to steal a car or to get away with the gifts or something.
Or whatever.
Sometimes they look like part of the wedding. So by the evening when you're asking for the vehicle to take away the gifts, those days gifts were largely, you bring the things there. It's not like nowadays where you get vouchers. So kama ni kitada, kama ni TV, kama ni all those things are packed in a pickup. That's what I heard they did that in another wedding. They pack it in a pickup and they walk away. And everybody thought that these are part of the wedding.
Oh dear.
Only to realize nobody knows them.
So they would have easily gotten away with the new Mercedes.
They were completely mixed with everybody, yes. Yeah, that is it.
So I think it's also good to be careful who is in your A-team planning for your wedding and doing the key roles that ought to be played on your material day.
Certainly.
If it is transport, who is taking care of it?
You need to know who is
managing the gifts and who is in charge of what.
Yes.
Hii assumption inaweza kukuweka mahali pabaya. Oh, that's something worth noting, but as you've said, God came through for you.
Certainly, yes.
Mercedes ingeenda ama
It's
bride
good to pray. It's good to trust God because He'll protect you even when you are not aware what is happening.
Those are not revealed to us. We leave them.
Yes. Then the Lord will
We don't know.
Imagine I could have gone.
a bride has gone.
The bride has gone and now you need to pay some ransom or something.
God forbid. Here to make So now you are here, you have gotten married. Before that, Beatrice, these days we have, I think, the bridal showers where, not the one for the girls, but for mamas that have risen up to speak to the ladies that are getting into marriage.
Yes.
Did you have that kind of an experience?
No. From the time we got our best couple, and our best couple, they were married, yeah? Both of them were married. To me, they are the one who walked with us. What is expected of us. They are the one who equipped us for the marriage. And then towards the end of, before now, the actual day of the marriage, we also saw our pastor. So he also took us through, I think, were they 2 or 3, I don't know how many days it was, I can't remember.
2 premarital sessions.
Yes, by our best couple, and also by the pastor.
Quizzes in Awanga around 6 or 7.
You program here,
Yeah,
it's a booklet.
It's a heavy program.
And
It's a curriculum.
It's important.
No, it's good. It's good to equip, and that's how you are prepared to answer our marriage. Yes.
So your best couple played a very key role.
Yes.
And it's good to go for people, as you're saying, people who are already in marriage, because
Yes.
then they know what lies ahead,
Yes.
as opposed to picking people who are, sometimes we pick people who can dance well, fit well in a good dress,
Of course, as number one, as Christians or people with direction, I want you to walk with me, because wherever I'm getting into,
You're already there.
Number one, I appreciate your marriage. I've seen you are a good example. So I want to be close to you. So, well, without criticizing anything, this thing of like, sometimes you wonder, where does it exactly start? What's the role of a best couple? And if you define that role, then you're able to make your choice. If you don't define that role and it's more about the elaboration and the day, then probably you may choose a different direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So here you are. You have been, fast forward, working together for 17 years. Same space, same office. The big question is, first and foremost, how do you deal and how do you synchronize your ideas that you don't look like you're pulling in 2 different directions? Number 2, kuna ile ya nyumbani. How are you able to leave it at home and not bring it here? And especially on those days, there are those moments when there's intense fellowship. I don't want to call it disagreement, but intense fellowship. And you've got to go to the office, and there's probably a meeting, and a critical decision has to be made. And, how do you handle all that?
Maybe to start, of course, the disagreements are there because we are different.
Yes.
And something I've discovered as a married couple, or in my marriage, the more the years grows, of course, our disagreement decreases. But those initially disagreements were many. But with me, I'm not very talkative. I like Alex, yeah? And so any time we had a disagreement, we had to sort it out.
Before?
No, we can't step out.
Okay.
We talk over it.
Okay.
Until we sort it out.
Then
we can't do nil by mouth in our house. Especially for me, I cannot, well, maybe because I am a bit emotional and I don't want to show my tears out there. I show them in the bedroom. So we make sure if there's any disagreement, we have to sort it out. Even if it takes an hour, we sort it out before we step out. And now, being in the same office, there's nothing urgent. So you are both of us, those ones can wait for us. So if you've not sorted out, we have to sort it out. Yes.
Okay. So when you have an idea that is wow.
Or an idea.
Yes.
Sometimes, well, to be real, sometimes I stand with it. I'll listen to his, I'll try to, men's idea they're a bit stronger, yeah? And they want to stand by it. But I also have my space to stand by it.
Yeah. Now that's how we want to. Yeah. So how now then are you able to come to the place of, okay, Beatrice, I think I like your idea, and let's flow with this. Because many people struggle working together, and if you listen to the many couples, they say it's almost impossible for them to work together.
Yes. I think one thing is to find. I think there are some what you'd call basic principles. What are disagreements? Sometimes they come because sometimes they are packed more with, they are packaged more in a package of pride and self, more than idea. So you must first of all say, why are we disagreeing? And accept that many things will work if they get support. I think that's one of the things we keep saying. Many ideas do work. What we need is support. So that then if you give support, and there is no time I'll come up with an idea or she'll come up with an idea that is meant to destroy us. So it's really just a different way of looking at it. And there are those days you'll say, well, let's have, there are times when you're also allowed to make mistakes. You follow it up. I will have my nini, but now this is what we've decided, we'll do that. So if it doesn't work, we'll not come back and say, you see, yes, are not good.
It's our thing.
It didn't work.
If it doesn't work, it's ours. If it works, it's ours.
It didn't work. So
there's no point it becomes yours when it doesn't work.
We'll accept, fine, we tried. It didn't work. Now let's try this other one. Yeah. And also I believe there's a lot of space now for everyone to do your thing without having, again, to, like what she said, the threshold of what you can do by yourself really ought to increase. Because now you have sometimes you are very worried, like, does that person have my interest at heart? You've got to really trust God to move from that phase. And anything you do is for our best interest, isn't it? So really, you allow that space, right?
Okay.
So what is more is information, there's a plan.
Sawa sawa.
And I think also it's good to add, life is a learning curve. If I insist on something today, then it fails. It is a learning for me now. In future, I'll need to listen.
Yeah,
so the reasoning becomes close. I mean, I will not insist in future because I'll be able to listen to his ideas before I insist on mine. But even as I insist on mine, already we have compared notes and we have agreed, let's go, let's do it, or let's go by your decision. Yes.
Because we have some people working together, and I can assure you the staff members know when things are thick. When they've had very intense moments of fellowship, because it pours, it spills to the office space, and it's very clear.
I know people sometimes do disagree or whatever, but I think the issue of magnifying, keep saying people must, it's not a must that people must disagree. First of all, I think it's good to also say that. While I know out there people do disagree one or two things quick, but it's not a must then that as we do our planning, we also plan in the disagreements. No, because we can reduce them. You can actually, if you shift them from your position, there are very many disagreements which can just go. And you realize they don't mean anything. They have no value. There are more things that bring you together than that. They divide you. So build on those as you look at the disagreements and say, what's the cause of this?
Okay.
Yeah. Is it?
I think I like that. We also realize there's maturity that comes as you grow together, as Beatrice says.
Definitely.
And as you work together, then you're able to know how far you can push. Because at the end of the day, ukitoa uchi wake leo kwa ofisi, kesho you still need those staff members
yeah.
to respect
very
you.
Unfortunate, yes.
Yeah, you need each other.
Yes.
Yeah, you really need each other.
That is very important. So with your busy schedules, more so, this is to Alex. I know you have other things outside the space of work. You're a father, you're a husband, and the other hats that you wear. So,
deacon in charge.
You're a deacon in charge.
I'm chairman of several.
Yes, several. So let's say you wear very many hats. How are you able to really have your priorities right, that you don't drop the ball, more so when it comes to your children and your wife?
Yeah, I believe one of those, there are very many, life will allow you to do some things together. And that's why something like church is very central for families, because you do church together. I don't understand where people do separate churches, because that steals a lot of opportunity to do life together. Because when you do church together, there's so much things in common, and they are part of your life that will occupy you. Like now we see our children are in church, you talk about their programs they have, the things they need to do, you are involved in them, so that it forms a very big opportunity to be together. A huge opportunity. right from the beginning, when you're planning for any of the events that are required in church, they have camps, they have what, we have women meetings, men's, all these things now, they are happening in the same space. So that puts you in the same box, right? A big percentage of your life has already happened. Now, the other one is now you see now again, you have to agree on that at home, every evening, you are together, right? So every day is an opportunity, you are together. So already, and that's by grace, because I would imagine those people who walk away from home, and so they need to work more than we have to, because now we are home together. So that's by grace that we are there. So that's another space that really helps you. So even if you are very busy, at the end of the day, you all come back home. So it's good that you also try as much as you can to be home when you have to be home, isn't it? So that you don't waste again unnecessary time out. And when you are out, you are out. Give it attention also, so that again you don't become almost a social. Anytime you go somewhere, it's technical. No.
Yeah, you make technical appearances everywhere.
Be there and give fellowship completely. So that you are fine. So I think those are two areas we exploit. There are many other opportunities as children grow. You are involved in, there are those organized things. Then there are those things you need to plan as a family. If it's a family outing or it's a family trip or something like that, family thing. There are those things which will bring you together. Number one, by design, because you subscribe to them. So it is good to subscribe yourselves to, even for the sake of our listeners, the church allows you lots of building together. There are those family, maybe even the larger family events, they'll put you together. Then there are those intentional, you need small family things that you also say and do, because they will also bring you together. And like you can say you'll be doing exercises together. So you put on your TV instructor and you are there now doing your bits of aerobics.
What you're telling us is that you have to be intentional, deliberate, and focused on what you really want to put your attention to.
And the beauty is that there are those things that are structural. There are those which are structural, right? And then, and especially if you're not in that space where some of the structural things help you, then you have to be again more intentional. I'm imagining if you don't work at home and you are away the whole week, then that creates a different situation. You need to be more intentional. But for those who go home every day and you are together, that's already an important opportunity to engage. Yeah. So you'll not just go and sit there. Like a gentleman told us that his father always sat in a place and he never spoke to somebody, and no, as in try and be part of what is happening. You will be anyway by default. Yes.
Wow, interesting. So as we get close to the end of this session, 24 years in marriage, a lot happens, seasons and people evolve and all that. How do you keep the fire burning in your union?
How we keep our fire burning? One, as you say, one has to be intentional.
Yes.
Because every day you live, this is a day that I'm guaranteed that I'll live. So I need to live that marriage in a way that it is pleasing. I have to make my husband happy, because I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. And then the other thing we do, we are in grouping of marriages, where you can't make life alone. Yeah. So we are in like 3 groups that we do marriage together. One is called Marriages Built on Us. We meet every month. Once every month we do books together, we do parenting, we do things to do with marriages, how to build on your spouse. And also live also we do together, where we go out with the people who are married and who are intentional about their marriages. And I think through that we are able to make our marriage grow together. And also there's something I know, I do something that I have to do intentionally, me as a person. If Alex loves something, I have to make sure I make it. If it's food, you like it in this way, I work hard to make sure I do it in a way he likes it. Because he has no other person to love apart from me. I have no one other person I can build or rather I can make happy apart from him. Yes.
Wow. Alex?
That is how it works. It's good. I think there is that place of looking at each other's interests and build around that also. Like what we said, marriage groups very important and they are good. And I really like that fact of trying to get into the space of the other. Not with a view to say, now, what is this? There are some ladies who say, what is this football you guys are watching? And yet you see the man is very engrossed in it, the children are there. Then you're also becoming like, you start creating an outcast as far as this is concerned. And so so while it would build a lot of stuff you can talk about, then it is dropped, you see. So that was a good opportunity. It is dropped, If your children, for instance, like watching movies, and you can get into that space also and choose and say, today we are watching a movie, so which one? And then there's a lot of stuff it creates together. I remember the earlier days of Lion King, and we would almost recite it with my son that time. And I think that's one of the movies we watched over and over and over and over. And even today we can still watch it together with them and still and recite those things because they are now back in our heads. So there are opportunities like that. Look at what interests her, get into it, So because that will really just work. Because if you like my interests, that's friendship.
Yes.
If you don't like my interests, that's now more of an arrangement. So let's work on our marriages so that they are not an arrangement, but they are life, it's friendship, isn't it? But then of course there is one or two areas then you still allow them to be because that is them, and you let them be happily, not like in a disgruntled way. And the part for food, true. Yeah.
Wisdom.
No, she will go out of her way to look for a recipe and make sure that it is correct.
Yes, because actually they say the way to a man's heart is through the stomach.
That is very true.
So you get the stomach, you have the man's heart.
Yes, yes. So it's good to put an effort on that. Intentionally to say, I want to get your taste right.
Wow.
Yes.
That is nice. So I still again on that space, Beatrice, I'm sure you have a word of wisdom you can share with a girl who is probably looking to get married, desiring to get married, and they would want to hear from a woman who's been there 24 years.
What I would want to tell every other girl out there, one, you start by, first you need to know if you want to get married, yeah? Because you're all created differently. There are those who are created to be single. Well, you need to listen to your heart first. And then pray about it. It's good to also come up with a list of whatever you want about the person. You don't just want to get married to anyone, yeah? You need to be very specific on the person that you want to marry. Also read books about marriages. And also, I think also praying about it. And also being patient with God. We are in a season where people, even there are them who go out to propose, yeah? Well, I may not be able to give wisdom on that, but it's good to be patient, trust God, pray about it, come up with the list of the name, come up with the list of what you want about a person, and also being involved in church. Like as we met in a Bible study. Many people get each other in a mission. You don't sit at home, in short, yeah? Go out there, be in a mission, be in church, being in school, being somewhere that you're socializing with people. And through that, you can be able to get somebody, you'll be able to know, your heart to be able to be drawn to somebody that you love. Yes.
Wow. Alex, to a young man.
Yeah, thank you. I think the issue is be genuine. When you're genuine, you'll attract people who are genuine. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges young people are facing today. Who is genuine, who is real, because there's a lot of show. people prepare themselves for shows so that they put pictures on Facebook, internet, wherever, and that is a show. So how do you unmask the show to the genuine reality? I'm always drawn to the story of Rebecca and how, I think it's Rebecca, and how she was genuinely looking at the welfare of this servant and all the things she did. She was very genuine, and there was no show about it. I think be genuine, be honest, be those things that you're also looking for from somebody, you know. And at the end of the day, love, friendships, these are things that grow. They grow. Something that grows, it also depends on what it is being fed on to grow. Yeah, so, and it can grow from stronger every day. And so anything that grows depends on what it is feeding on. So you can either give yourself that opportunity to allow friendship to grow. Don't be misguided by any image out there. Marriage is not about image. It's not about a show. It's real, genuine. You know, so and you're looking for a genuine person. So really, and some genuine persons sometimes are not packaged in the way they can be brought on the TV shows or something. No, the packaging may be very different. Get to the heart of people, not to their surface. Get to their hearts. And you know people's heart. The Bible says that ladies are to adorn themselves not with all this stuff we see, but with humility, with joy, with love, all those things that is what is important at the end of the day. And trust God, of course. In prayer, trust God. Be in the right place. That's what Beatrice is saying. Be in the right place. Because if you go in pubs, in all this, that's what you get. Clearly, that is what you get. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we are learning, and the amazing thing is that you being the seventh couple, one thing cuts across, that in each couple, they have indicated one of the ways they keep going in their marriage is they have an accountability group.
Yes.
That they belong to. From the first couple that I got to interview to where we are, all of them, they have an accountability group they belong to, where they learn from, and they are accountable to them. And one of them said, akinifinya sana naenda kumstaki, ananyoroshwa kidogo. So it's important. Don't try to do marriage in isolation, at me, myself, and my spouse. We are good to go. You can surprise yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe as you finish, I'll tell you this. That aspect of knowing that there is something you don't know and you can still learn is very important. And the other day, my father, who is now more than 60 years in marriage, told me that, you know, there is something I have known about your mom. So you keep learning.
After 60 years in marriage, he's knowing something about learning something about.
He's my biggest, he's actually my biggest inspiration in terms of marriage. He'll tell you things which help. So learning, being there, learn here, how are others doing, how are others handling, not so that you can do like them, but also you can also learn where maybe the way you do things is deficient. And you can adjust without having to say, we need to work on this thing. No, you can adjust through exposure to others. And that exposure has to be intentional and in directional, you know. So we are in this group because we want to build our marriage. And then you start moving.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So when was your wedding? What was the date?
The date was 3rd of June.
3rd of June. So in a few months you'll be there.
Yes.
And I want you to look at that gentleman and say something sweet to him. After 24 years. If you call him Bay, call him Bay.
No,
if you call him Melon, call him Melon.
I don't know whether we have those names, but...
but the sweet words are there. Forget the names. I'm sure she has something good to tell you.
Yes. Yeah, after the 24 years.
Yes.
You're still my hero.
Thank
I
you.
love you. I treasure you. And I like how you handle me.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you. I think, am I supposed to...
Ngoja, breathe in, breathe out now. Choka mistari.
You know, Liz, you're putting me in a space where I don't drive very well.
Don't tell me you're the people
But
that say when I stop
ideally,
loving you, you will know. know.
You know, yeah, I'm the kind who will put a poster on her bed and say, I love you, and then as long as it is there, that is the position. But however, I think, but I think clearly, you know, I love the way we do our lives together, which is good, friendship and love and just care, respect, everything I think somebody would look for. I found it in you, thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, even I'm sure, I don't know whether this will get to our children. Really, I'm sure that they should know that this is what we would also thank God for and expect for them. And we are grateful. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much for willing even to come and share your story. We truly hope you've learned something, and I have an interesting quote that I would want to read. That love shared by two married people recognizes no barriers, it jumps handles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. Thank you so much for tuning, and keep watching because we have more stories coming up. See you.